sports nerds, welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Faubert, and we are live, as always, from my basement. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. Hi, how you been? Happy now, I guess, holidays. I'm counting it the holidays until after Remembrance Day. Nor do I start celebrating the holidays until after the pretty lady's birthday. So yeah, I still got some time left before I inevitably start listening to the Mariah Carey songs and the Korn songs and the Corey Taylor songs and the Small Town Titan songs and the Wham songs, all the good Christmas classics. But that also being said, if we're at this time of year, that means it's halfway through football. Yikes. Yeah. So half the football season is gone. Just like that. Just like a Thanos snap. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Because then what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to dive into hockey? Well, that's, duh. Dive into basketball? Well, I mean, yeah, duh. But it's not football. It's never football. And it's never the same. So, hoping that time slows down just a little bit so we can enjoy just a tiny little bit more football. Tiny little bit more football. So, yeah. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, we are sponsored by ZAGNIF Apparel. I am actually wearing ZAGNIF apparel, which is now getting way too small on me. I don't know if that's because I've gained weight. Doesn't look like it. I don't know if it's because it's gone through the wash too many times because I keep wearing it because it feels so good. It's actually really nice material. I don't know what it is. But ZAGNIF Apparel, Foops15, code word, gets 15% off. Shoes, clothes, socks. They have other stuff there too. I really got to go take a look at the list of things that you can get there. So yeah, ZAGNIF Apparel, 15% off. Thank you to our sponsor today. We are going to talk about, it says hockey season is here. That is the wrong one. That is the wrong board. Look at me. I've been away for like what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks? And this is what happens. I can't do anything properly because it's been too long. But that's fine. That's fine. Let me just do the paste and then scroll back down. Thank you. And save. And then if we put it back up, there we go. So we're halfway through the NFL season. That sucks, but we still enjoy the football that we got right now. Mock draft. I don't do the full mock draft. I don't put it up here. I kind of just do it, every week by myself. If you want a heads up on what the mock draft is, like for the full 32 teams that I got and where they stand right now and who they would pick, blah, 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 you can always ask for it. I will send it to you. But in a couple minutes, we will go through the week 8 mock draft of the top 10 teams right now. We also going to talk about an NFL update, look at some of the teams that are playing this weekend and who I've got, who I think is going to win, some of the picks that I've taken for gambling, which I'm not doing too bad on. Listen, hey, parlays are like my new friend. I love parlays. I also love Texas State. Oh, money makers in Texas State all the time. We're also going to do a little bit of hockey talk, talking about the hot water in that Ottawa is currently in for a couple of different reasons. Is my Detroit Red Wings wagon? I fucking think so. And Oilers fans need to just like relax a little bit. Okay, let's talk about that in a little bit here. And if you like what you see, what you hear, what you like the backgrounds, I went back to the old style. I got this nice gap so the pretty lady can watch her shows and I can still do my show. I went on this side. I used to do it from like over here. And I would literally stand and talk to you guys from right here. They'd be like, hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew from North Sports Dance. But now we went back over here and I have tape on the ground eventually that'll guide me to where I need to go to certain points because I'm going to try some new stuff here. Because we're going to get a little bit more professional in the next upcoming months to probably the new year. Because I also have another show that is being worked on. Had to actually erase the board before I started because I'm not telling anybody anything about it because I want it to be a surprise and I want it to be big. So speaking of sports though, if you like sports, you like people talking sports, give them a like, give them a share, give me a follow for North Sports Dynasty. Tell everybody where they are at. And towards the end of the show, I will be dropping the StreamYard link. And if anybody wants to come in and chat about anything, Buccaneers, Red Wings, hockey, basketball, cricket, European polo. We don't talk politics here because I guess if your opinions are different, then people aren't going to like you. So, all right, this is what we're going to start off with. We're going to start off with the mock draft. Mock draft. What I have here is the current draft order from 10 to 1 of the NFL. Last time we did this, though, I started from 10 to 1. And it just, after I was done, I was like, that doesn't make sense on why I did that there. So I'm going to try it the way that I actually know how to do that. So curling. Hey, man, I know Thunder Bay that's my hometown. Thunder Bay gets to hold the Scotties they host? And it's upcoming next year? Or like next year they get to host it? At least I know that. So thank you for tuning in. So the top 10 that I got here, I'm going to start with number 1 and go to 10 because that seems a little bit easier to do. It seems a little bit more straightforward as well. So right now we got the Arizona Cardinals with the first overall pick. There's only 2 players that they would be choosing from here. That's obviously Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. I would love nothing more than to piss off every Cardinals fan I know. And if anybody's like, what are you doing? It's because I'm looking for a marker. I would love nothing more than to piss off every Cardinals fan that I know, which is 2, and tell them that you're trading Kyler away and it is going to be Caleb Williams from now on. I don't necessarily think that's what is going to be at all. What I think is going to happen is Kyler is going to come back from this injury after they've basically secured themselves a top 10 pick. And they're going to utilize that in the draft where they can trade back and get more first-round picks like they did last year in getting Houston's pick. But they're not going to trade Kyler, guys. The contract is too difficult. Teams don't like to deal with the intangibles on issues of like that with a contract. If there's like a lump sum you got to pay up front, and then maybe like a 5th-year option type deal, yeah, teams are more dedicated to pick those up. But this kind of thing is not easy to trade away. And it's not going to be easy to trade away, respectively, for like 3 years. So unless Gannon wants to do a full rebuild, and it's not up to him, but if he believes that a full rebuild needs to happen and ownership believes that needs to happen and that needs to be the way you sell tickets, then sure, put yourself in a financial hole with the dead cap and stuff like that and trade Kyler away. I just don't think it's a great idea. So I got them taking Marvin Harrison Jr. here. Why not? What's the issue that you have with Kyler? Kyler's had no targets. Kyler's had no weapons. Kyler's had no protection. Okay, well, last year's draft, you went and got him a right tackle, and he's doing a really good job. Now, all of a sudden, you can have a wide receiving core of Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, Marco Wilson, and Marvin Harrison Jr. with a Trey McBride who is actually starting to look respectable. And then you can literally use the second round pick, third round pick, fourth round pick, doesn't matter, on the running back of your choice. And tell me if that offense wouldn't scare you just in the slightest. If Kyler is 100% healthy, Kyler is an intimidating factor on the field. He is an X factor. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to have a plethora of wide receiving talent and a number one that he can just toss it up to. It's almost a no-brainer. Why would you throw Caleb into that? Why would you want a diva, respectively, because we're just hearing this from the internet. We don't know if it's true. But we're hearing this diva talk where he's going to want ownership and I get to choose where I go. And if he doesn't want to be in Arizona, you think all of a sudden he's just going to come out and be the Arizona Cardinals pick? No. And I don't think they want that either. I'm not saying Kyler is a diva either. I think there's obviously been some social media traction that has happened with Kyler that they don't want again. So make the smart pick. Make that offense as crazy as possible. Grab Marvin Harrison Jr. Now let's talk about Chicago because they get the second and third overall pick. This is where they can afford to go and take Caleb Williams. That is where you actually are allowed to take someone. Because not only is it a pristine franchise, and it is, as much as they've gone through the crap, they are the third largest populated city in America, if I'm not mistaken. And they have talent there. They just need, in my opinion, a new head coaching staff again and a new quarterback. Because I had faith in Justin Fields, and I just don't think that he is it. Sean Spencer, what is up, sir? What is up, my guy? So I think bringing Caleb in here would make sense. Probably at the second overall pick, obviously. You're not going to nitpick and try and save money by taking him at the third pick. So Caleb Williams comes in. You don't pick up Justin Fields as fifth. You can trade him at that point, obviously, for not what you would want to recuperate. But if you're a team like Dallas went and grabbed Trey Lance, as the backup, just in case something happens. This is probably an opportunity where a team like, say, Jacksonville or Cincinnati or even the Cleveland Browns actually probably would make sense more so of where a fit for Justin Fields would probably be better after Chicago. Probably a team that would actually trade for him. So you got Caleb Williams with the second overall pick if you're Chicago. Everyone used to say the Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. stack, which I had in week 4 there. Would have been awesome. And even I, at that point, said I probably wouldn't do it, but just for the views, I did. Now, I'm holding true to this. Is I think in Chicago, if you had Caleb Williams to lead your offense, you got him at the second overall pick. You can use that third pick now to get the number one defensive player in your mind. And to me, the best defensive player in this is probably the defensive tackle out of Illinois. Maybe even like the linebacker from Clemson. But you cannot overstate what Dallas Turner obviously is. You cannot overstate what Mr. Jared Verse obviously is. Or even Latu there. I think that's how I said his name correctly. But if I am the Bears, I just want the name. I want the size, and I want the aggressiveness that comes. Ooh, there we go. With Jared Verse. So you put him in there in the defense. Now you've got the leader on your offense and the leader on your defense with the second and third overall pick. And they already now have their defensive tackle who they went and grabbed and signed to a very big contract. They have Jordan Brisker in the backfield who does lay a good hit. They got a cornerback that's on the last year of his deal. You could still possibly get him. And now all of a sudden you're looking like a formidable team. You got pieces on that defense then. And you got pieces on the offense. Chicago can do something. That division is only going through Detroit. So Minnesota's good as well, and they've proven that they can beat good teams, but Kirk Cousins is not coming back. They're going to have to do something as well. So Chicago, I think, is going to do really good here with the second and third overall pick, getting Jared Verse and Caleb Williams. Now, the Giants are sitting here at number 4. Giants fans, look away if you're a Daniel Jones fan. This is where all of a sudden, if the North Carolina product falls into your lap and you're the Giants, you're obviously running to the podium, and especially if you are Brian Daboll. And you're like, oh, okay, I can get a new 2 years here at my job because I now get a new quarterback who he can have his first year problems. It's the second year, though, that he would have to start taking off and Brian Daboll would be gone. Drake May, number 4, going to the Giants. They have a lot of good wide receivers with different talents there that are just not properly being utilized. Daniel Jones has legs, and that seems to be the one thing that Giants fans keep holding on to. This man can scramble. This man can, he can get out of the pocket. He can trip over his own feet in the open field. That's true. That's true. And it's not fun to watch really anymore. Tyrod Taylor seemed to have a better hold on that offense than a lot of people probably thought was going to happen. I didn't think Tyrod Taylor was going to do that good. And when I say he was doing that good, he wasn't doing brilliantly amazing, but he did just as good as P.J. Walker did. And P.J. Walker won a game for the Cleveland Browns. Maybe 2, I think. But Drake May just makes sense. It's the big city. It's the big name. You got to go in that division against a couple of guys. You got to go in that division now twice a year against the guy that you replaced or that you took over the job for. And Sam Howell after he left to go to the NFL draft. So just makes sense. If I'm the Giants, I would run to the podium at pick number 5 or pick number 4 and call it a day. Pick number 5, I'm the New England Patriots. I am grabbing Laiatu Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA. He has been classified, written down, however you want to call it, right now on draft boards as the best overall pass rusher in the draft. Now, I have my arguments on that because I still like what Jared Verse can do, and I am not going to overstate either. Let me get the name. The other edge rusher that's out there. Why can't I think of his name? I just said it earlier. But yes, early draft talk. Nice. Thank you, Ben Cornett, for tuning in, buddy. So Laiatu Latu. Jared Verse is, in my opinion, still the best. Dallas Turner. That's the name I was looking for. Thank you. Laiatu Latu, though, this guy can play upright. He can play in the middle, but he just owns this ability to stare down the play and make it. And the New England Patriots don't necessarily abide by the draft logic that comes around draft time, like drafting a quarterback, trading up for a quarterback. We need wide receivers and stuff like that. They do what they're going to do, and especially under Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick ain't going anywhere, okay? Bill Belichick has secretly signed an extension, for crying out loud. Put some respect to Jared Verse's name. Hells yeah, buddy. Hells yeah. Just because he's a Seminole doesn't mean I ain't going to put respect when it comes to the NFL talent that he has. I really like Jared Verse. And I got him on Chicago just before that, though. If you're just tuned in, Ben. So Laiatu Latu going to New England just adds to the defensive core that they already have and makes them like really scary. Very, very scary. Like almost sneakily becoming the best defense in that division and arguably in football. And being utilized properly could put that team in a position probably next year, because Latu's got some like abilities to be a captain. He's very smart. So I think Latu would be a good fit here at the Patriots at number 5. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers. Listen, whatever happens with David Bakhtiari, you got to start finding his replacement right now if you want any chance of Jordan Love or your next quarterback in general surviving. This is where Notre Dame's Joe Alt comes up. I know a lot of people would say Penn State's Fashionell. Fashionell is good, and he's very elite. But there has been some times this year where it's like, And someone later on is going to take the chance and probably get a steal of a guy. He's probably just had a bad year. But I think Green Bay can't afford to have someone having a bad year in college for their fan base. I think if they're going to do the quarterback pick, they're going to do it when they have the draft in Green Bay, which I'm hoping to go to. I would have loved to gone to the one in Detroit, but I got a couple other things I want to do. And unless apparently my job has like a function or something like that in Detroit around that time every year. And I was like, I may just sneak on with that. So, Green Bay probably will do it in 2025 after next season if they're going to do the quarterback thing. But I wouldn't put it past them to also trade this pick and put them in a position next year to having 2 picks in the first round, and possibly using both of them to either trade up to get a quarterback, or the fun that comes with having 2 picks and you never know what happens to the other team. So Green Bay would just make sense trading it. But if I am Green Bay, I take the tackle. Joe Alt. Replace David Bakhtiari basically just like that. You get 5 years out of him and call it a day. Number 7, the Indianapolis Colts. This guy's name, it's I gotta get his first name here. Talisi Fuega, the Oregon State right tackle. That is the pick that I got right here. Now, everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? Fast riser, like climbing draft boards right now for his play, like lock and play right tackle, just like that. Now, he has the intangible to possibly move to left tackle, like Tristan Wirfs. And a few places have said he is essentially the next Tristan Wirfs. There is a couple places, though, that are saying he has the ability to, but to call him Tristan Wirfs right now may be putting a team in a position on draft day where they think they can get him at left tackle. But someone's going to take that shot on him. And I think it's the Colts, because they got their quarterback. They got a franchise left guard. They got good pieces around that line. But now all of a sudden you can go get your tackle, which has been an issue, and you can put him there on the right side, and then all of a sudden move him to the left if he seems to. But if not, you have a right side tackle. You have your Lane Johnson then. Is that an issue? Never. So if I'm the Colts, I take him at number 7. Even when Bill passes on, he still be the Patriots head coach. They just prop him up like Bernie from the Weekend at Bernie's on game day. Yeah, there's really a dead guy though too, eh? I'm thinking the Packers go after a veteran quarterback in 2024. Yeah, a couple of these rookies that you've seen in the NFL right now are going to be available then, so they could also do that. I can definitely see that as well. Number 8, the Raiders. The Raiders. They go for a quarterback. And they grab a guy in Mr. Michael Penix Jr., who I have to check. I know it was 28-28 last time I checked that game. I'll have to double check what the college scores are right now. 35-28 for Washington, so he's at least beating Caleb Williams right now. He seems to have the right type of attitude that the Raiders would probably utilize properly. He's got the left hand. I think him in a Raiders jersey would just look proper as well. Plus, we know that the Raiders are going to be looking for a quarterback in the offseason, whether it's through free agency. I don't see necessarily being the case, or if it's going to be through the draft, which I think it's probably going to be. I think it's going to be Michael Penix Jr. Number 9, another quarterback off the board. Sean Payton gets his quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback out of Michigan. Listen, they got their cheating scandal going on, and that's okay. J.J. McCarthy is the one who is not cheating, though, and he is doing really, really good. But this is where, you could trade back and probably grab him in a couple of picks if you needed to or if you wanted to. It might be a little bit soon, but you also don't know when you're going to be able to get a possibility of a generational talent in quarterback like this guy. Plus, if they wanted to, they can go back and grab Quinn Ewers. They could still grab Bo Nix. They can grab, Riley Leonard, even though I think he's starting to fall on a few people's boards. There's still a few people that the Raiders could look at, that Denver could look at. I had Bo Nix here originally, but think JJ is just athleticism and his elite prospect ability. So the reason why they would probably take him at number 9. And number 10, Washington, to round it out, takes Fashionow, the left tackle. I think they are the proper team, probably with Riverboat Ron gone, Eric Bieniemy in. They need that left tackle just to sit there and protect. I think that's just the perfect pick. I think he'll actually be good in the NFL. So Washington gets their franchise left tackle at number 10. So tell me what you all think. We do this every 4 weeks. I got my week 4 picks still there. My week 8 picks there. I will probably erase this eventually and have the week 12 picks here, and then the week 16, and then obviously the end of the year, NSD does, the big mock draft. So tell me what you think. Who you got in the top 10? Who do you think the Buccaneers would take? I think we're sitting at number 14 right now. So if all those players are gone, who do you think would fall to us at number 14? Let me know in the comments section. Much love to everybody else tuning in tonight. Look at the Sunday games and the Monday games. So tomorrow, right, first thing bright and early, we got the Chiefs at the Dolphins at 7:30 in Germany. I actually got the Dolphins probably going to win this one. I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if the Chiefs do. But I got money on it. And I got a little bit of faith in the Dolphins, just for the Chiefs are a little bit banged up, and they just seem to have that head hang down mentality. And I think if they were at home, I know it says they're home, but like at home, actually, I think they would probably get a better burst out of it. I got the Dolphins. Vikings and Falcons. I think the Falcons just kind of run away with that tomorrow morning at 11 here, and where I'm at anyway. I wonder. I guess daylight savings is for everybody, so everybody rolls back. I was like, does that just change for us? I don't know. Bears and Saints. I got the Saints on this one, but the Bears could probably make it close. That Tyler Badgins has actually played really, really good. Rams and Packers. Rams are the underdogs on this one, but surprisingly, I lean a little bit more towards them. Same with the Commanders that are underdogs against the Patriots. I find myself liking the underdogs tomorrow. Seahawks over the Ravens, or are going to the Ravens. I got the Ravens winning this one. Bucks and the Texans are playing tomorrow also, and I got the Texans probably squeaking one out, but obviously I will be rooting for my Buccaneers. The Cardinals are taking on the Browns. Sorry to all the Cardinals guys out there. I think the Browns are going to take this one, but I mean, if you guys beat Dallas, I wouldn't be surprised if you could beat the Browns. The Colts are taking on the Panthers. I think the Colts will probably win this one, but I could see the Panthers keeping up their winning streak. Giants and the Raiders. I think it goes to the Giants, though I don't necessarily think the Raiders are tanking for picks anymore. With a guy like that in-house and their new head coach, whose name I totally forget right now, I should have wrote down. Josh McDaniels is gone. But their new head coach, he's been waiting for this, I guess. He's a Raider for life. And there was a story that came out, I think, on NFL Plus today, NFL Edition, not NFL Edition. Shout out to them though. NFL something. And they were talking about him being a Patriot, and they won, and he was going to do something against the Raiders. And he basically said, "You don't disrespect that team." And he's like, "That's my team." I was like, "Okay, well, you play for us, buddy. So whatever you say." Cowboys and Eagles. I got the Eagles taking this one because it's a home game. Bills and Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals take that one tomorrow night. I'll be definitely watching that one. And then the Monday night game is the Chargers and Jets. Listen, Jet fans, if you want any chance of staying in this, you're going to need to win that game on Monday night. I just don't think you got it. I personally don't think you got it. That's just me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't think you got it. Justin Herbert's a beast, even though your defense is pretty fucking good too. I'll give you that. So, hockey talk. Let's get the hockey talk. Okay, Ottawa's in some hot water. Ottawa did a trade back in 2021. And it was trade a guy who basically said, "I do not want to be traded to these places." And they're like, "Fuck you, you're going there anyway." And then they subsequently traded him. That team traded him away from there because they didn't want to break any rules either. So Ottawa now has to give up a first-round pick in either 2024, 2025, or 2026. I probably wouldn't be surprised if it's Detroit's pick that they got coming in. which makes it hilarious if they do, because then that trade would be literally for, Sabrango and another prospect that I don't think are going to succumb to anything. But and then Shane Pinto suspended 41 games for illegally gambling on games. We just don't know the severity of it yet. Obviously, they came up with some kind of a plea deal. That sucks for him, but don't get bet on the games. I'm going to go back to the loss of pick, though, because I watched that whole their new owner there. It does a really good job trying to be bilingual as well. There's no fucking way I could talk French if that's what needs to happen to be a Canadian owner. Millions and millions and billions of dollars later, I would still not be able to speak that much French. Though I am French. That's what Flaubert is. They lose a first round pick for basically, and the ownership lose basically a first round pick for something that he didn't know. Like he was not necessarily aware that was going to happen when he bought the team. A lot of people are like, well, who cares? You're a billionaire. Who the fuck matters? The guy's buying the team with a dream. And then all of a sudden, if you're just getting penalized for stuff that you had no hand in, of course, it'd be a little irritated. But this is where I don't like to do the, well, if this happened, then this should happen. I don't usually like to play that game. Obviously, my kids like to play that game. I just don't like the fact that an NHL team in the Ottawa Senators is going to have to lose out on a potential generational talent going to their team to help bring them a Stanley Cup to that city, which they haven't done, unless you want to count the first ever Stanley Cup awarded. The Chicago Blackhawks had a sex scandal on players, and they were smacked with a $2 million fine. And like one other person lost their job. Everybody else got to keep their job. What the fuck does that show to the rest of the league? To the fans? Like, Bettman wants to take fighting out of the hockey and all that, and I get it. I 1,000% get it. Well, why are we going to sit here and fucking pretend that fighting is even like worse than things that could be happening behind closed doors? And don't give me this shit that, well, it maybe wasn't as bad as this, that, and everything else. No, it either happened or it didn't happen in cases like this, especially with sexual assault, and especially on young players, and especially under the watch of professionals who have been in hockey for how fucking long? You think I would ever put my son in the hands of the Blackhawks organization? My kid is about to get, and I got to say this quietly because it's Santa, a hockey net and a hockey stick, sister and brother, so they can play outside in the wintertime, doing deeks on dad while I'm in net and mommy out there playing point. And if there's some chance that he's to get drafted and the Chicago Blackhawks organization comes calling, you think as a father I would stand for him to go to that organization? Let alone, I'd be more disappointed that he's going to the NHL, who doesn't do anything, essentially. And then turns around and subsequently fucks the Ottawa Senators' new ownership because some precedents? Like, you just try to get the best dollar for like one of the shittiest Canadian markets? Is that why it all hit him? I don't blame the owner for coming out and saying everything he did. I wouldn't blame the owner for essentially suing Bettman's Tourette's looking ass, Michael J. Fox looking ass. I wouldn't blame him if he sues him. It's pretty disgusting. It was a $2 million fine for the Chicago Blackhawks. And people think they're hockey players and stuff. They can pay that off. You're damn right they can pay that off. Same with the ownership, who have B's in front of that illions. Yet you're taking a pick away from the Senators because, oh no, something bad happened 2 years ago. Figure it the fuck out, Batman. And NHL. That is not a good look. And it's gross, really. To get on the good side of the things, though, that are happening in the NHL, is my Red Wings are back. We're back. We're actually playing right now. I know that we tied the game. I am going to go and search that score right now. It's probably going to say like 7-3 Boston, knowing my luck. Also knowing my luck, it's going to take forever to load because my Wi-Fi sucks. So, yeah, thank you. Oh, man, nothing. Just absolutely nothing. I hate my Wi-Fi here. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's right. We won. We won. We won. We won. We won. We won. We won the game. We won the game. We won. Now, before I get into anything else, now I just need the Rangers to finish within a goal and a half of the Wild today. And I win. Oh, I win lots of money. So that's good. Another parlay hits for Daddy. Thank you. Anyway, the Red Wings just beat the fucking Bruins. They had the lead all night. You know what happened? Daddy Larkin is what fucking happened. Thank you very much. Dylan Larkin, goal and assist, 2 points. Perron, 3 points. Comfort, 2 points. Raymond, 2 points. DeBrincat with a point. Sider in there. Wallman scoring. Man, this team is looking good. They started off hot. They had that slow regression, and now they've picked it right back up. And that's going to be the story of this team this year. The question now becomes, for Red Wing fans or any fans in the East, if you are a Bruin fan or a Toronto fan, who would you rather play? The Red Wings, the Senators, or the Red Wings, the Senators, or the Sabres? It's probably going to be the Senators. Here we go. Get a booster for Red Wings. Yeah. Listen, I should have just taken the Wi-Fi off here. We use so much Wi-Fi in here, but yeah, you're not wrong, buddy. DeBrincat was a huge pick, man. So I was a little hesitant because I was like, Ottawa's going to ask for so much. It's in division. I would be asking for so much. When you look at the pick or the trade right off the bat, it's essentially what the trade was to acquire him from Chicago, if you look at it that way. And it's like Kubalik is your third round pick. Sabrango is your second round pick. Your first round pick is the other guy there, or vice versa. So it worked out. DeBrincat and Larkin are like this. And then adding Raymond off to the side, who beefed up in the offseason, is perfect. Are we ready for a cup run? Fuck no. Settle the fuck down, everyone in Red Wing land. I am just going to be happy if we get to take on in the first round of the playoffs, if it's to happen, if we make the playoffs. I still am like, like the Islanders, Washington, the Sabres, and Ottawa are the teams that could completely fuck that opportunity right out of the water. And that's probably what's going to happen. That being said, I still think the Red Wings are like 2 pieces away. I think the pieces are Edvinsson smartening the fuck up and becoming the left side of the defense that we absolutely need to come in there and be beside Sider. And when shit starts hitting the fan, both those guys go and just start hitting. That's it. And the other thing is, everybody wants us to trade for Elias Pettersson. We ain't giving up enough to get Elias Pettersson from Vancouver. Who the fuck thinks that we have that much to give to them? They would want to brink it. It's not going to happen. If the only way we're getting Elias Pettersson, because I'm telling you the other guy in a second, the only way we're getting Elias Pettersson is if we gave them both first-round picks this year, Ottawa not taking the other one. We gave them probably the Danielson that we literally just drafted. We would have to, or more than likely Casper. And then we'd have to give them Wallander and probably another one of those guys. Probably Casper and Nolan, to be honest with you. And then Wallander. Or if not Wallander, Pellica. And then some. So if anything, I want the other side. I want the other side of what people have been talking about. And that's what I'm bringing up right now. I want Travis Konecny. I got a neighbor 2 houses down. I hope you hear this, Michael. I want Travis Konecny. I want the Philadelphia Flyers called up tonight. What do you want for Travis Konecny? Well, we're kind of on a good run. Shut up. You're not even going to be close to playoff time. Even be like sniffing. You're going to be, shut up. What do you want for Travis Konecny? Well, if you give us that Boston pick, give a second-round pick next year, and you throw in, you throw in Marco Casper. And maybe then like a depth player, because that's usually what teams would do. Done. And 1,000% done. We can't keep all these prospects in house. And I agree. So trade them off when we need to. And that's like now. If Travis Konecny becomes available and we can make the trade for him, do it. 1,000% do it. 100% do it. I would have been done yesterday. As for the Oilers, it's the first 10 games is not the San Jose Sharks. We do not need to sit here and freak out about this just yet. They're going to bounce back. McDavid got some injuries, and when you lose the head of the snake, essentially, everybody else doesn't know what the hell they're going to do. And I get it. I'm not an Oilers fan. I'm an Oilers outsider here. I don't mind them. I like to make fun of them, not just, like anybody else would. But I don't hate the Oilers. I think the Oilers still have a great chance. I still think the Oilers can win the Stanley Cup this year. It just has to start clicking. You got Stuart Skinner breaking sticks in practice. And everybody's losing their mind like that's a problem. That's exactly what I want to happen if I'm a fan of the Oilers, man. Why not? He's frustrated. And he doesn't know what the hell to do. So finally in practice, he loses it. He breaks the stick. He says, fuck it. He lost the starting job to a guy who's still not doing that good. That's the type of mental hurdles they got to get over. And to be honest, that's what I want them to do. Break some sticks. Get mad. Why not? They're going to be in the finals. Now, whether it be the Western Conference or the Stanley Cup. Do I think they get first in the West? No, I think that's pretty much given to the Golden Knights. My fiance, beautiful Kim, is completely on board with their wagon of a team. Now everybody is aware of it. She knows more hockey than I do at this point. So, the Oilers are going to be fine. I think the Red Wings are going to be fine. I think the Oilers are going to win more games than the Red Wings this year. And I think that they're going to go further than the Red Wings in the playoffs this year. But I like what I'm seeing by the Red Wings right now. I like what I'm seeing. So let's not get picky at the Oilers yet. Let's not get picky with the Red Wings just yet. Let's go make a trade before the Red Wings. That's what I want. We make that trade before trade deadline, then fuck yeah, we better make the playoffs. And the Oilers are going to make it. Ottawa's going to have their struggles. It's just the way it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, that today has been the episode tonight. Sorry, it's been the episode of North Sports Dynasty. Thank you all who have been tuning in tonight. Dustin Eingenberg. I hope I said that right. Dustin Einenberg. I hope I said that right. Ben Cornett, Sean Spencer. Thank you guys for tuning in, commenting. To anybody else who is out there who did not decide to join into the comment section tonight, that's totally fine. You don't have to. I don't need to know who's always here. I just need to know that you had a good time. And that's all that matters to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It has been a blast. I don't usually do this on a Saturday night, but I've been busy. I've been working, and when I get off work on a Friday, especially, it's after a long week, and I'm usually just dead tired. And I did the last little bit. I've just not wanted to come on because I don't want to sit here and just be like, Buccaneers suck. What? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I like to keep you guys entertained a little bit. And we just got home, and I got this all set up beforehand. So it is all good. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to re-download some Fortnite since I got the OG map. And to be honest, I only played the OG map. So I might hop into that a little bit tonight. So if anybody's watching this, they want to join in, fucking A, give me a message. I'll be streaming here soon. Just figuring out a couple more things, just some gaming. So obviously when I'm done doing a show on Friday night or Saturday, or inevitably when I get to it, I will be streaming. Probably on Twitch and on YouTube, probably just one or the other, might be YouTube. So we'll see what goes on. And yeah, shout out again to everybody who liked and shared the show today. You are all brilliant people. And I love you so, so very much. All right, guys, much love. I will catch you guys next week. It should be on Friday. We'll see what happens. Much love again. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Ciao.